Hello there, this is Chip Cod Roach, and we are back with, I guess you can guess it, it is the last of the Ghostbusters movies. Whew, in some ways I'm going to miss doing them. The views seem to be doing really, really well. Obviously this is the last one. This is Ghostbusters The Frozen Empire. It's also the newest one, which means I'm told, do not give too much away.
By who?
So I won't. My wonderful bride-to-be told me, you better not give too much away. So I will respect that, and I will not do that. But as you can see, we are joined by the Marshmallow Men. The two originals, followed by the mischievous Mini Puffs. Along with one of the new ghosts in Frozen Empire. I already forgot what they're called. He just looks like a little evil potato. So moving on. So the original cast has joined back. Paul Rudd, of course, Mr. Gooberson, the science teacher, or what he calls himself in this movie, the STEP science teacher. Yeah, he was a little too Paul Ruddish for my liking in this, but that's okay. Podcast made his return. Phoebe Spangler, Trevor Spangler, Kaylee, and Kaylee Spangler, played by Connie Coon, is also back. And then also the original Ghostbusters are also back in this a little bit more than they were in Afterlife. Ray Stantz and Winston Zeddemore are really making an effort into bringing the Ghostbusters back. However, there's another mischief creature that has made his return in this movie from the first one, and I'm not talking about Slimer. I'm talking about Walter Peck, who is now the mayor of New York. And if you thought the mayor of New York City, I apologize. So, if you thought Rudy Giuliani was bad, or George Pataki, George Pataki was the governor. But if you thought Rudy Giuliani was bad, this guy's worse. So he is trying to take the Ghostbusters down. So yes, Walter Peck is back after getting blasted by 30 gallons of shaving cream in this, or in the last movie. 40 years later, I wish that happened to him again, but it didn't. That will be a spoiler alert. So, again, I'm not going to give too much away, but right off the bat, there is some pretty high action going on. And again, Slimer does make his return. So right away, I will get into the first clip.
Back here is like a furnace. Can you not talk to me like that, please? I'm 18 now. I'm an adult.
Oh, come on, we're on a job, buddy.
I'm not getting paid. Are you getting paid?
No?
Cool.
Okay, so this is the first part. Like I said, it's pretty high action right off the bat. I guess Jason Reitman wanted to get right into it. That's fine. So I did forget to mention the newer additions they made to this movie. Oswald Patton is in this, yes. You might recognize him from The King of Queens, and also he was the narrator in The Goldbergs. And I'm getting a head shaking at me saying, no, never heard of him. Well, he is in this. He plays a very important part. He explains what this... Let me explain the other character first. Hopefully I don't butcher the actor's name, which I'm going to do. So that is just a warning. His name is Nadeem in this. He is what they called him in the making of this. They called him the underdog. I called him the underwear. He was a downright loser, an underachiever. He brought being lazy cool. Being lazy is not cool. But that is the way that they're doing things now, and I guess Jason Reitman is right on that. So I guess he pulled the playbook out of John Hamburg's directing skills. So anyways, the actor's name is
I don't think that's it.
Kumo. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna have to not look. It doesn't matter if I'm gonna look it up or not. I'm gonna butcher it anyways. I can't pronounce it. I think it's Numanaji. Nanjanani. Whatever. Nana Janani. Something like that. I guess he was in the Big Sick. I never heard of him in anything either. So you know what? I'm not even gonna. I honestly don't know what else he was exactly in. Oh, Life as We Know It. Okay, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. So it's somebody I'm not familiar with. I honestly, the first time I saw him, I thought he was in Harold and Kumar.
Who?
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
No.
Never saw it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, that's good.
So
I don't know
anyway,
if I
so
watch it.
moving on. So as you can see, Kaylee Kuhn is now a Ghostbuster. Mr. Gooberson is also a Ghostbuster, and Phoebe and Trevor, obviously, they were in the first one. So they
Third
find
one.
the Hell's Kitchen sewer dragon. Don't make me put money in the swear jar for that. That's what he's called. And they also left, this was a very important piece to leave out. They left Somerville, Oklahoma. I don't know why. Oklahoma is so cool, isn't it? And they left the To Do Nothing town to go to New York City. So yes, they are in the firehouse. And also this is the first time we see them driving this hearse in New York City. So it's a little bit busier than Somerville, Oklahoma, which looked like a ghost town most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So now to catch the sewer dragon, Phoebe, of course, wants to use the gunner seat. And they tell her no. Now they do use some other they really kind of decked out the car. They kept it original, not like the Ghostbusters 2 tacky, weird looking car with the logo on it. But I'm not going to mention what they use because that would be kind of spoiling the fun. I want you to find out for yourself. So I will go on to the next clip because, like I said, I'm not going to give a whole lot away here.
No, I'm her stepteacher. Mr. Groomerson, you are not her father. You are her brother. No, we don't pay her. Sounds like we can add Sean's labor to her list of violations. Yeah, maybe she can become a junior Ghostbuster. Hand out stickers or something. As for the rest of you, I'm personally holding you responsible, and I won't stop until that firehouse you call home is a pile of bricks.
Well, as you can see, Walter Peck is taking a page out of the YouTube copyright fund police. He's already threatening to shut them down because they may have caused some damage during the...
They didn't, though. They are not the ones that made the manhole covers pop off the ground. Just saying.
That is true. So the ghost did actually cause the damage first. So they were just cleaning it up. But they got in trouble nonetheless. And as you can see, he's adding all these lists of just unnecessary junk penalties. It's like watching an NFL football game. Just penalties all over the place. And that's what Walter Peck brought. So, as you can see, Walter Peck is back and with full of vengeance. So he is already threatening to shut the firehouse down. Opening scene. What a great guy. I'm so glad they brought back Walter Peck. I will go on to the next clip, and we will be introducing I call it the underwear of the story. You will get to meet the Fire Master. I will explain later.
Yeah, correct on both counts.
Buddy, you just hit the jackpot. It's all stuff from my grandmother's and it was passed down to her, so it's like ancient.
Okay, so this is Nadim. I'm not even going to attempt the actor's name again. I'd rather not. So.
Wow, it was so fun the first time.
No, it was fun the first 3 times I tried. So, anyways, again, I know nothing about this actor. I guess he was okay in this, other than buying his clothes out of the dumpster. So he goes to Ray Stantz because he's selling a bunch of his grandma's stuff. It turns out they're actually very, very important. And this guy ends up being the fire master. Because the head ghost, I guess in this, you want to say, the villain ghost that wants to turn the city into a new ice age, his name is Graco. And the only people that can defeat him would be fire masters. This guy is the fire master. He gets with Peter Venkman eventually, which is Bill Murray, your favorite Ghostbuster.
Still a douche.
And when he's going over and when he's examining his mind, every time he gets angry, fire goes up. So Peter Venkman figures it out right off the bat that there's something wrong with this guy, or this guy can help him out. So I will get to the next clip. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away. Well, see now Phoebe has a hard time making friends. So what she does is, well, Mr. Gooberson and Kaylee, her mother, decide to sort of ground her and suspend her from being a Ghostbuster.
No, that was the mayor's doing.
Well, it was, but they enforced it. So, Phoebe blows off steam by playing chess with herself in the park. Okay, I guess that's better than breaking windows, getting in trouble by policemen. So she decides to play chess, and it turns out that some of the pieces are going by themselves. So obviously, a ghost is playing with her, and now she meets a friend named Melody, and she's not human. And it's tough, because Phoebe has trouble making friends. I actually think Phoebe's pretty cool. Maybe there's something wrong with me.
There's a lot wrong with you, but not with that part.
That's enough. So I will get to the next clip.
Welcome to the Paranormal Research Center. Ghostbusting asks a lot of questions. Now we have a place to find the answers. We have a...
When you said you were introing, I didn't know you'd be blowing stuff away with lasers.
I know, right? It's still an upgrade.
And of course,
Possessed by an evil spin doctor, Stevie.
So this is Winston Zeddemores research facility, and I compare this to, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie The Conjuring, where they bring in relics that have been used by spirits or demonic spirits. They attach themselves to relics. This is kind of what they do. And let's just say Mr. Gooberson finds one, and the new intern, Lars, played by James Acaster, is in this as Winston's intern. And Lucky is actually working with Winston, as Trevor sees, and obviously he gives her a hug. So she's probably about 20, Trevor's 18, so yes, now they can go out if they want to now. So that's exciting for Trevor. So this is kind of pretty cool to see this paranormal research facility. So Phoebe is about to get into some trouble, and we're going to find out what that is in just a couple seconds. Puffs. Okay, so the adult Ghostbusters get sent on a call. So Phoebe sees them driving off, and she decides, well, this is kind of ridiculous. So she ends up intercepting a separate call at a diner. So she gets her friend Podcast to join her. And I found Podcast to be very disappointing in this movie. I know I said in Afterlife he was one of my favorite characters. He's one of my least in this one. So, he likes to smash things, which I will show you after this clip, because I had to go back a little bit to show you the famous mini puffs. So, what they do in this diner is, obviously, they see Melody sitting there. So Phoebe decides to miss her on purpose, which causes some damage. So, I will get to the mini puffs just in a couple seconds.
I thought you guys said it. Love you. Bye.
What are you doing?
It's a nightmare. They smuggled them back from Somerville.
I had to do the. I didn't talk about the mini puffs. So, yes, I really hate him. This is what Podcast does now. So he took these mini puffs back from Somerville, which is cool, but now he just likes to smash things. I found it very, very annoying. That poor little mini puff just wanted to play, and then he gets hit with a shoe. I hate Podcast. So I guess his parents think he's at space camp. I wish he went, and I wish they put him up into space. So, anyway, so him and Phoebe are now kind of reunited in a way. She thought him bringing back the mini puffs were actually really cool. So she agrees with me. So now we are going to go back to the library 40 years later, and we get to find some interesting return people from the very first movie in 1984. So let's get to that right now.
Pre-Sumerian. This is pre-Sanskrit.
Well, what happened here is they lost the possessor ghost. They went. So obviously we saw the person at the beginning of this. He was in the movie 40 years ago, the one that said he's not allowed in. Yeah, as we remember, they went into the library and made a mess. So now they go to Patton Oswalt. He has some interesting finds for them. There's a certain language that they have to see with this Rocco character. He is, of course, the guy he's the bad ghost in this that they're trying to find out about. He hasn't been unleashed or anything, but they need to know about him. So Patton Oswalt now sees the Sanskrit. He's able to translate it. So moving on. So this possessor ghost there sends to get loose in the library. So they run after it, and then of course they see the grumpy ghost librarian that makes the return. And I think she's mad because she bought her Depends at Walmart and they were used. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So now we're going to see what that possessor ghost turns into when they go outside the library. And yes, they get in trouble. But let's find out how.
Oh, I didn't know she shot the tail off of it.
Now I know what you're about to ask. Okay, yes, the lion got possessed by the possessor ghost. And then he decides to jump. So Phoebe defends herself. But don't all these eyewitnesses see this big 200-pound or more concrete lion about to...
Definitely more than 200 pounds.
Probably more than 200 pounds. Almost pounce on on Ray's stance, which is the great Dan Aykroyd, and going after Phoebe. So I don't understand how she gets in trouble, but she does. She blasts the thing, the concrete goes all over the place, it hits a few police cars. It's okay. Taxpayers will take care of it. It's no big deal. But she got in trouble. So yes, there's going to be big consequences, because guess who shows up at the police station? As he always does. We're about to find out. I'm not going to tell you. You'll just have to find out in a couple seconds.
Oh, this was just dynamite. One would think, though, you'd have a little more respect for the public library. You being such a bookworm, why don't you just...
What?
For 40 years, I've been waiting to say these words. The Ghostbusters are finished. Your firehouse has been condemned. Your packs are in a police lockup. They'll be melted down for scrap by morning. And just wait until I get a hold of your car.
Now just hold on.
And yes, our friend is back. Walter Peck is there to shut the Ghostbusters down. So, Phoebe pretty much says, the last time you decided to do that, you caused a big issue. So, what he says is that's slander, so that's alrighty. He's pulling a pansy move. So she can't...
She wasn't wrong.
No, she wasn't wrong. Like I said, he's pulling a pansy move. So he says you can either behave or we're going to arrest you. Not going to tell you what happened. You're going to have to see the movie for yourself. So the next scene is with the loser firemaster. There was a little accident in the basement of the firehouse. The ghost containment unit has exploded. I'm not going to tell you how that happened. But let's just say that a ghost is out and it's causing problems, and the firemaster is the guy that can stop it. But again, I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not going to say much more. But they're trying to get the firemaster to
Be a firemaster?
Yeah, because he's kind of stupid, so he's having trouble accepting his wonderful gift. So we will go to that scene right now.
Light the candle. I think we both know that's impossible. Son, I stopped believing in that word a long time ago.
What if you were humanity's last hope? Dude, I've never been anyone's only hope. I went to senior prom as a backup for someone's brother.
You may not choose to believe it, but there are many stories of people with inexplicable gifts going back eons. The strength of Samson, the speed.
So here's the firemaster. So this is the firemaster. So Podcast and Ray are trying to get this guy to use his powers. And obviously, just hearing his little prom story, hopefully you're trying to understand what I'm trying to say. This guy is kind of a loser. So hopefully you people agree with me. So now I will go to the next clip, because again, try not to give too much away.
I tried to stop it, I couldn't.
I know where I'm
You're
going.
okay. That's all that matters.
We're in trouble. No, you're
Right
not
there.
in trouble. We're not.
So, Phoebe had a little issue here. Not going to say what it was. But she pretty much sums it up. They're in trouble. Yes, so the city is somewhat under attack. Again, not going to tell you what...
As in every other Ghostbusters movie, same thing.
Yeah, it is, but it's still cool. And no pun intended. So, now I'm going to get to the final clip, and then I'm going to do my review after that.
New packs. Suit up.
Okay, well, so now they are pretty much going to go behind the wonderful and rule-loving Walter Peck. They have new proton packs, and they are about to go on another Ghostbusters adventure without permission, which makes them pretty cool. They're pretty much giving the middle finger to authority. So again, I'm not going to tell you the end of this movie. You're going to have to see this for yourself. So the one character that I really do like in this movie is Lars. I believe his last name is Pinefield in this. I enjoyed his character. I liked Patton Oswalt. They could have got somebody else to play the fire starter. Firemaster. They could have got somebody with a little bit more ambitious. I'm sorry, ambition. um, so I honestly didn't really like the casting pick for that, but this is Jason Reitman as well. He hasn't done as well as his father has. Ivan Reitman's done some great movies. This guy's just done okay. With the Ghostbusters movies, he actually did really, really well. Obviously, this compared to Afterlife, I think I may have liked Afterlife just a little bit more. This movie, I'd have to give. Ooh, rating this one's tough. It would probably be the B- to B range. I'd give it about that. I did enjoy it, but I enjoyed Afterlife just a little bit more. This one did have some cool factors to it. Again, no pun intended.
What is wrong with that?
What do you mean? What is wrong with me? I thought it was a very fair rating. So, do I recommend seeing this movie? Absolutely. Did I buy this movie for $20? I might have. So,
Absolutely.
the cat's out of the bag on that one. I definitely did buy it for $20. However, I did find a great buy yesterday. I found King Kong for $5 at Target. But moving on. It was $5. But if you enjoy the streaming services like Prime, and this will be on Netflix if you decide to go that route instead of buying yourself a physical copy, I highly recommend the physical copy. But if you like Netflix and that's your thing, it will be on Netflix. And I believe Cobra Kai will also be on Netflix as well. So, absolutely, I do recommend it. This is even a buyer. I mean, I will probably watch this again, not for a long time, because I am kind of Ghostbustered out at this time. Doing 4 of them and trying to get through this one. I finally got a chance to watch it all the way through after attempting 4 other times.
Well, tell company not to come next time.
Yes, we had company and we tried to watch it before. We both fell asleep because we were tired. It happens. But once we actually did watch it, we did enjoy it. But yes, unfortunately, it did have some flaws, and that was due to the character of Podcast, who I could not stand in this movie, and of course, the Fire Master. And also, I wish they used Trevor a little bit better. And yes, they do bring back Slimer, but I want you to see those parts for yourself, because I really didn't want to show them during a review. I'd rather you just enjoy the movie yourself than hear me blab about it. Well, too bad. You're going to get me blabbing maybe first. But that's fine. Hopefully I got you into this movie. I'm just explaining what I found wrong with it. But to Jeremy Judd's somewhat credit, Trevor was kind of useless in this movie. He could have been okay, but again, you didn't see Mr. Gooberson and his almost wife, Kaylee, and Trevor actually busting ghosts. So you just had to make a lot of assumptions. But I did, however, like how they had Winston and Ray and Dr. Venkman a little bit in this. I know Dr. Venkman is not your favorite, but...
Not at all.
Yeah. Now, my one friend Ted said that these movies aren't the same without Egon. Yeah, now that I do have to agree with, but there's nothing you can do when life happens. So unfortunately, I do miss Egon as well, but at least they bring his granddaughter into this, Phoebe, who plays a great part in this. And yes, I do like her corny joke telling at the beginning of the movie, but I wish they continued with it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Comment below. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.